Gordon Ramsay is a cook, athlete, adventurer, and world traveler. In each of these activities, there is infinite room for various pleasures. And there are some guilty pleasures that Gordon Ramsay cannot stop himself from indulging in. Devouring a duck's fetus.
I've had duck eggs before, but I can't wait to find out what makes these so special.
We have seen Gordon all around the world on The Great Escape, and most trips including him eating something that was bizarre, to say the least. He has eaten everything from tarantulas to ant eggs. On his trip to Cambodia, Gordon ate a duck's fetus. That's right. Gordon opened a duck's egg, dug out its 20-day-old unborn baby, and swallowed it.
Oh my God!
Are you crazy?
At first he was hesitant, of course, but after eating it,
It looks disgusting, but actually tastes quite nice.
there is another pleasure involved in this too. According to Gordon's guide, duck fetuses enhance a man's sex life.
Yeah, baby! Yeah.
Even if it is delicious, the fact remains that this is a fetus. This could very well be Gordon's guiltiest pleasure.
Anything happening downstairs?
Oh my.
Eating stuffed frogs.
Wading through the jungle water, teeming with God knows what, in the pitch black, is starting to seem a very bad idea.
Another exotic but somewhat cold-hearted meal that Gordon found his ultimate pleasure in was stuffed frogs. During the night, Gordon and some of his Cambodian companions went on a frog hunt by the river, and after catching a few decently sized frogs, they headed back to the shack for the grill. First, they killed the frogs, gutted them, then prepared the stuffing.
Next, she gets me to make a special version of krung, the classic Cambodian spice paste using fresh turmeric, garlic, and chili.
They stuffed the frogs before putting them on the grill. In a small supper gathering, Gordon got to taste his first serving of stuffed frogs, and he sounded amazed by the taste.
I'm starting to see why the revival of traditional cuisine is so important. This old recipe is fantastic.
Fresh eels in breadcrumbs.
Have you eaten eels before?
Never tried them.
Why not?
Because it's just something I've never even thought about eating.
For most of us who haven't tried them before, eels are probably attributed in our heads with slime or ugly jelly.
Hopefully I'm going to change that. I'm going to do something a little bit more sort of, not delicate, but just a little bit more flavour. Sounds lovely.
He not only finds them delicious, he even thinks they are part of an abandoned heritage. In one of his episodes on the F Word, Gordon met with the only commercial eel fisherman left in order to see how eels are found. He then cooked a test sample for people to try, and his eels and breadcrumbs recipe looks good enough to change our minds about eels. It's certainly impressed the people who tasted it. By the way, eels are considered a fine delicacy in the Netherlands, and that is what Gordon wants to make them in Britain and the US.
Let's see if this persuades those wimps to give eels a chance.
Making tripe great again.
Today you're going to be eating this.
What is that?
Many young people might think tripe is gross, alien-like flesh extracted from the cattle's stomachs. And they're absolutely right. But this weird-looking meat is actually a traditional delicacy in Britain. Old people seem to love it, and so does Master Chef Gordon Ramsay. When Gordon visited a butcher, he got to meet a bunch of 60-plus-year-old people who shared his tripe indulgence.
Is that for tonight's dinner?
No, actually, that's just to get home.
That's just for a snack. Good man.
Gordon didn't like the fact that only old people were enjoying tripe, and he used one of his magic recipes to add some modern spirit to this strange piece of meat.
You like it? Yes, how old are you?
18.
That's what I want to hear. So we've gone from 90 to 18 this morning.
He then got a line of young boys to taste it, and apparently his recipe was a hit with them.
It's a load of bollocks that people don't like tripe anymore because cooked in a modern way, they love it.
Roasting people.
Sort your hair out. Hello, is that me, my barnet? Yeah, barnet. That's not a barnet, that's the mess.
This one is not a surprise for anybody.
Food music and you're just terrible at it.
Just hang out with Gordon and you will have some curse words coming at you.
I'm lost for words.
One of Gordon's campaigns, called Ramsay's Great British Roast, included interactive street posters where Gordon made a live appearance and kept roasting random people on the streets of Brighton for their looks, and most importantly, for whatever food they carried around.
Why are you eating something that looks like the inside of a nappy? I'm hungry.
The people weren't even upset about it. Gordon's roasts are probably even more popular than his food.
No, off.
Gordon loses his mind over some caviar.
If this caviar is as good as a real McCoy, the proper beluga, then this could be a amazing find.
There are very few things that can please Gordon like a nice serving of caviar.
And it's bursting with flavour, like individual pearls exploding in your mouth. Absolutely delicious.
He once flew to Spain to visit a caviar farm. When he and his guide came out with the fish that they caught and went to have the caviar extracted from it, Gordon could not contain his amazement.
Jesus Christ.
You can see the amounts of eggs there.
Look at all the caviar.
He took the caviar right out of the fish's belly and ate it.
Shall we process? Process?
Yeah.
Me. I'm going back home.
After having it processed, Gordon took his can of caviar and split with a wide smile. He then made a lobster dish with a side of potato salad with that exquisite caviar he brought with him from Spain, beasting it up.
I'm always surprised when you show up because, first of all, you're very strong. Your handshake alone is intimidating.
It's not a given that Gordon Ramsay looks pretty good for his age. A man over 50 who is that buff is an almost rare find. If we consider the fact that he is a chef who is surrounded 24/7 with all types of mouth-watering food, his ability to maintain such a physique becomes more and more impressive. One of the things in which Gordon completely loses himself in is sports. For one, he has run the London Marathon more than once and has entered into triathlon competitions. Not only are sports an essential part of Gordon's life, he even makes sure that his wife and children are athletic as well.
I've found out a great way of spending more time together. Do you fancy renewing our vows in Hawaii? And literally the day before, if you don't mind, I'm going to do an Ironman.
Exploring the world.
Christ, I'm going to look at risottos in a completely different way now.
We have seen Gordon in many countries all over the globe. Beyond the obvious reasons why traveling might be appealing, like expanding one's experiences and knowledge of the world, traveling has had a magnificent effect on Gordon's career. He says that his first trip to Paris completely changed his idea about his cooking skills, because it made him realize how much he did not know about food.
I thought coming back to Paris wouldn't be like what it was like 20 years ago when I was getting my ass kicked.
Gordon has been pretty fond of featuring different cuisines from around the world, and on his travel show, The Great Escape, he has taken us with him on trips to many countries to let us see their cuisine and the methods they use in cooking. He's been to different corners of the globe, from Finland to Spain to Cambodia, and from every journey he comes back with more and more to add to his magic in the kitchen.
Bloody hell.
It is? Nothing gives me more pleasure than seeing someone eat and saying bloody hell.
The Wake Up You Donkey cocktail.
Don't even look at me! Don't even look at me, donkey!
It's hard to be a master of taste like Gordon is and not have cocktails on your list of guilty pleasures. When he appeared on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, the master chef had a glass of his favorite cocktail with his host. It included tequila, cider, smoked elderflower, and fresh honey.
We asked for smoked elderflower, but we got normal elderflower.
I mean, come on, here.
If you think that's a fancy drink, wait till you hear its name.
Wake up, you donkey.
No, it's not called that. Flip the table.
And it is served at the Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill in Atlantic City. Gordon is definitely a bit nitpicky when it comes to food, and we don't think he's any different with drinks. That must be one hell of a drink to have won Gordon's heart like that.
One lady said it turns her on.
Oh, my God.
Gordon loves his Ferrari collection.
I absolutely love racing. Anybody?
Yes,
Gordon is an absolute Ferrari maniac. If you follow Gordon on social media, you probably know how insane he is about his two-strong LaFerrari collection. He first had his Coupe LaFerrari, then in late 2016 he got his new LaFerrari, this time a convertible Aperta.
I work for perfection every day, and winning 3 Michelin stars was a dream. But my second big dream was having my first Ferrari.
Gordon is no conservative driver either. He has worked his tricks on America's radars by wrapping his license plate in cling film in order to reflect the flash from the radar's cameras. So instead of doing the 70-mile-per-hour speed limit on Los Angeles highways, he can enjoy his car's stunning speed that is triple that limit. Although he's a 51-year-old father, when it comes to his Ferraris, Gordon still has the spirit of a child.
I think I left my ass on the corner.
He is a real Disney enthusiast.
Having 4 young kids and watching them, getting excited about Mickey.
Maybe one would not guess it from his rough nature and his dead seriousness, but Gordon is actually a real enthusiast of Disney movies. In a Reddit Ask Me Anything thread that Gordon started a couple years ago, he was asked which Disney movie was his favorite, and he chose Ratatouille. The chef in Ratatouille is not the only Disney chef that Gordon loves. He has voiced a couple of animated chef characters himself. He's challenged the Swedish chef on the Food Fight Mupisode, and he voices Chef Oxley on Mickey and the Roadster Racers.
Whisk! Whisk boldly!
Chef Oxley goes to restaurants to give them a shake-up and help their crews to get things in order. To suit the show's young audience, though, Chef Oxley does so without Gordon's iconic cursing.
You sure do say a lot.
Because it's the Muppets! There's families watching!
Scrambled eggs throughout the day.
Can I offer you a nice egg in this trying time? Yeah.
Eggs are one of the things that Gordon has made over and over on his shows.
He can't even boil a egg.
He particularly loves his eggs scrambled.
The secret behind any good scrambled egg is to stop it from overcooking. So we're going to put a little tablespoon of creme fraiche right at the very end.
He thinks scrambled eggs are a meal that fits into any slot in the day. One can eat them at breakfast, in the afternoon, as a 5 p.m. snack, or in the evening. He also finds scrambled eggs to be a perfect weekend breakfast. And with the way he makes them, they definitely are the perfect breakfast. Although they are a simple and time-efficient meal, Gordon still thinks scrambled eggs are something of an art.
And give a little whisk like that. So you have to move the pan and the spatula at the same time.
He definitely manages to make a fine dish out of the simplest types of food. And scrambled eggs are no exception.
Honestly.
Wait, what are you doing?
Social media presence.
Rory, British food is so bad. Cheeky f***er.
Gordon Ramsay's social media presence is quite powerful. Gordon posts regularly on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube, where all of his professional content is posted. A huge part of Gordon's roasts occur via Twitter in particular, where Gordon hunts down inferior chefs and hecklers with his typical intimidating, witty attitude. It's not all roasts and insults, though. Via Twitter, Gordon opens the door for questions and ideas from his fans, where he does take these messages seriously and tries to answer them.
In 10 seconds, you've got this beautiful minced garlic on the back of the knife.
If you are going to holler at Gordon via social media, know that you might be up for your fair share of mockery.
You need to take 2 slices of bread and stick them on your ears. And that's what you've got. An idiot sandwich.
What are you?
An idiot sandwich.
Occasional fast food indulgences.
Are you guys up for a pizza?
It might shock many people to hear this, but Gordon is a real fan of fast food.
But fast food doesn't have to be junk food. Let's get that right.
There's maybe nothing more appalling to a chef than grease-infested junk food. Gordon has some pretty tough standards if he is going to eat fast food.
You don't put pineapple on a pizza.
Although he has his occasional fast food indulgences, Gordon is still strict about maintaining his physique, and even his family's physique. He allows his kids some fast food, but it's only once every few weeks.
But then, you know, they know if they're going to eat pizzas and burgers, then they've got to go for a run in the morning before they go to school.
It's not a surprise to anyone that Gordon is such a harsh parent, though.
How's your boyfriend?
Right, I'm going.
Hunting down his own food.
If you teach Jack and I how to catch them, then I can teach you how to cook them.
Absolutely. That sounds like a plan.
As we've seen, Gordon has been to so many places, and in each of the countries he visited, there were one or more animals that are not traditionally eaten in the West, and which Gordon wanted to give a try, and many times he had to find them himself. While in Cambodia, Gordon went down to the river to hunt the frogs that he ate, but that wasn't the only time he went to capture the prey. While in Iceland, Gordon went on a hunt for puffins, which are cute, bulky Icelandic birds that apparently make for good food.
Very creamy, slightly gamey, a little bit salty, but quite intriguing because it's very smooth on the palate.
We have seen him hunting for Burmese pythons in Florida, casually going on a lionfish hunt, and he went hand diving for scallops while in Britain. GR just knows how to keep the action coming.
One delicious recipe to pass on to some new friends.
We bet you were flabbergasted by some of these insane guilty pleasures. At least we were. What are some of your guilty pleasures? Sound off in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell.